Good day to you. Welcome. I'm Reverend Deborah Johnson, Rev D. Welcome to Inner Light Ministries, to our weekly virtual offering. So glad for you to be with us this day. Just take a breath, huh? We breathe in the goodness of life everywhere present. We come here to remember who we are, to shine as the divine. Out of all the places that you could be right now at this moment in time, you're here. You're here, and I know that each of us that shows up, including myself, comes looking for something, whether we're even aware of it or not. And my prayer is that nobody leaves here hungry, that each and every person is met according to their own need. And I don't try to even take credit for whatever it is that transpires here. I know that the divine is always speaking and touching us and communicating with us in ways that we understand. So, whether this is your first time ever being with us, whether you are a regular and have been with us for decades, I say welcome. Welcome. Today, we're going to be talking about the twins. Call them the twins, grace and gratitude. Grace and gratitude. But to remind us a little bit about the consciousness that we're all swimming in and what that clarion call is that brings us all together. I put on the screen Inner Light's purpose statement. Inner Light is an open, diverse, inclusive community of individuals and organizations dedicated to spiritual transformation. We provide tools for activating higher possibilities by applying universal spiritual principles to all circumstances. Our aim is personal and global healing through the omni-faith energy of love and the revealing of our own inner light. Promoting life's sacred interconnectedness, we embody spiritual oneness, appreciate individualized expressions, and honor all paths that lead to spiritual truth, justice, and ecological regeneration. Just take a breath on that. We offer tools. And one of the tools that we offer every week are affirmative activations. Exactly 100 words to help us recalibrate, to remember who we are, helping us to align with the divine. There's nothing magical per se about the words, except that they have an energetic frequency that if we allow ourselves to really resonate with it, to be with it, commune with it, it starts to take root in our very being and to grow the fruit. So as we go over it here, it's to introduce you to it, but it'll have its power when you come back to it. So if you're able to, I'm going to invite you to say the affirmative activations with me as they come on your screen. My grateful heart is forever expanding. My capacity to receive and to give from God's bounty increases daily. I bear witness to inexplicable blessings and profound provision. I'm humbled by infinite divine grace. My attitude of gratitude is more than an account of the past. My attitude of gratitude is a compass towards the future. Gratitude guides me to the path of grace and corrals me when I would stray away. Grace and gratitude are traveling companions. They pave the way and keep me company. I never do anything without them. Through grace, I am sustained. Through gratitude, I'm sane. Let's sink in. Notice if there's something that's really calling out to you. You're like, "Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Maybe it is, I bear witness to inexplicable blessings and profound provision. Maybe it's something like, my grateful heart is forever expanding. Notice if there's anything that's maybe calling you up a little bit. Calling you up. Like gratitude guides me to the path of grace and corrals me when I would stray. Or grace and gratitude, or the traveling companions that pave the way and keep me company, and I don't do anything without them. Just let those sit with you. And when you come back, pay a little bit of extra attention to those things that you're resonating with and those things that you might still be grasping for a little bit. If you're on a computer, I recommend maybe you take a screenshot so you have these with you. Cell phone, take a picture. You'll find these on our website, innerlightministries.org. You can also come back to the archives and visit this particular broadcast on our YouTube channel, YouTube Inner Light Ministries live stream. Just breathe it in. Breathe it in. So before we get started talking about grace and gratitude, we're going to listen to a musical offering about grace. Just let it resonate with you a little bit.
I needed your grace more than I thought I ever would. You forgave more than I thought you ever could. I was stronger in my head, but truth is, I need your grace. Your grace more than I thought I ever would. You forgave more than I thought you ever could. I was stronger in my head, but truth is, I need your grace. I need your grace. I need your grace. Couldn't make it out your grace. Been lost without your grace. Ooh, I need your. Oh, thank God
Mm, that's Jonathan Reynolds. Grace. Oh, that's just beautiful, beautiful song. Just breathe that in. I need your grace more than I thought I ever would. Mm, mm, mm. Today we're talking about, call them the twins. The twins. Grace and gratitude. They really do go together. I find that grace is a very nebulous concept for so many people, particularly when we live in such a goal-oriented, individualistic, pull yourself up by your own bootstrap, be the master and the captain of your own ship. All of this stuff that makes us think that our success, our well-being, everything is just on our shoulders. It's just on our shoulders. And we're busy judging our very selves. We're busy judging our intrinsic worth by what we have, our possessions, our bank accounts, our relationships, or whatever, by our accomplishments, our experiences, likewise by our failures in our minds, our shortcomings, the distressing things in our life. That in our minds, we're just the sum total of all of that. And we look out upon the world as though the world is Santa Claus making a list and checking it twice, and trying to imagine, do we even qualify? Do we even qualify for the goodness? Did I earn it? Have I done enough? Did I have some and blew it? So I've made my bed, I've just got to lie in it. Am I too old? Am I not educated enough? Am I too young and inexperienced? Just, it's endless. It's endless, the list that goes on in our heads for why it is that we might be excluded out of the goodness of life. Take a breath. I have found that even people who say they believe in a higher power, they believe in God, something that's a unifying factor in the universe, they can believe that in the abstract, and they can believe that on the macro level, but on the microscopic level, okay, on that individual, like one-on-one level, it seems harder for them to grasp. And I find that's one of the paradoxes of all of this, for our brains to be able to wrap itself around how there could be anything that could be wise enough and intelligent enough to literally create the universe, and at the same time be mindful of seemingly insignificant things. Like, how can there be that balance? So even the ones who are in awe of the majesty of the divine still question the concept of grace. They don't even know they're questioning it sometimes. But in the litany that I was just going through about why not them, or questioning the what will it take and all of the rest of that, that they are not understanding grace. And I get it. I get, because it took a long, long time for me to just embrace it, to accept it. What is this thing called grace? Grace is life's provision, God's provision for us, just because. Just because. Because it is its giving nature to do it. That everything is created out of it, everything is connected to it. And that way there is this love and this intimate relationship. And it is never divided. It's never chopping itself up. So it's never leaving bits and pieces of itself behind. Okay? Just like your body temple. Like you have a brain and you have a heart, these very complex parts of your body. And then you have like baby fingernails. And the baby fingernails don't forget to grow just because there's too much attention going to the brain. That all of it is happening simultaneously. All the different systems within us, the digestive system and the respiratory system, and all of these, they're going on simultaneously, and each of them knows its part, and they work in concert together. They're not in competition with each other. Okay? They're not trying to replace each other, because each has its own function. A liver can't be a lung. Okay. A lung can't be a kidney. Kidney can't be a brain. Brain can't be a heart. Okay. Divinely designed, but to all work together. That's an example of this grace that I'm talking about, where it boggles my mind. It boggles my mind how divinely designed things are to come together, to work, to regenerate, to renew, to be the all that they can be. This evolutionary motion that's always expanding upward and out. It's never stuck. It doesn't matter how much has gone on or hasn't gone on. There is a consistency of life, and it just keeps being itself over and over and over again. See, that's God's grace. The grace isn't waiting every day to see what we as human beings have done or haven't done, to see if we qualify for the goodness or not. It's just there. It just gives. It's like an apple tree out in the orchard. The apple tree just gives the apples. Okay. If someone's around to eat the apples, fine. If an animal eats the apples, fine. If insects, birds eat the apples, fine. If nobody's there to eat the apples, then it just gives the apples fall on the ground. But it doesn't go to waste. Those apples that fall to the ground become part of the fertilizer that cultivates the soil for the roots to grow and for the next trees to come. It's like nothing is wasted in these. And just like it's talking about the body temple with all of the systems and everything is designed to work together. So it is in life, the environment, the ecological systems where everything is in this beautiful kind of perfect balance. That's grace. That's God's grace. Our charge is to see ourselves as a part of life. Listen to what I'm saying. Not just an observer that's watching life, not just looking at life happening at us or to us, but life expressing itself through us, and most especially as us, all of the time. All of the time. When we suddenly discover God's goodness, it isn't like all of a sudden God showed up. The love was always there. The creativity was always there. The abundance was always there. The music was always there. Everything was already there. We just couldn't see it. We weren't allowing ourselves to see it. This is why I call the grace and the gratitude the twins. Okay. Because God's providing the grace. We won't experience the grace. We won't even see the grace unless we come with some gratitude. Listen to what I'm saying. Unless we come with some gratitude, there can be some provision for you. And if you're not in a state of gratitude and you're looking at it as insufficient, not enough, too late, questioning why it's even there at all, or if it's going to stay, you will not experience it as the blessing that it is. You won't. You have to come with some gratitude. Okay? You have to come with some kind of a deep appreciation. And when you show up in life with gratitude and appreciation, you will get amazed. Because every place that you turn, you will see God's handiwork. You'll see God's handiwork. You'll see the way in which we are provided for, the way that things are working out. You will experience the divine design in ways that you couldn't even appreciate or see before. Okay. But we come with the gratitude in order to experience the grace. See, God is the source, and it resources itself through people, places, and things. So your money, your gifts, your contribution, it's not the source. Okay. Your love, your relationships, your service, your caring, it's not the source. You are resourcing it. You're resourcing it. We used to say in church, you're the only Jesus anybody will ever know. You're the only Jesus anybody will ever know. Okay. When you show up, when you care, it even spoke of this in scripture. When he said, whenever you've done anything to the least of these, you've done it to me. Did you visit me in prison? Did you clothe me? When I was naked, did you feed me? Were you kind to me when I was a stranger in your land? Did you do these things? Okay. And as we do these things, it becomes part of that flow of the grace. That flow of the grace. And sometimes we're just so caught up in our own stuff that we don't have the appreciation. We don't see it. I had an experience yesterday. I was grocery shopping. And when I came out of the grocery store, there was a teenager there. I don't know, maybe 16, 17 years old, something like that. Thin body, dark skin, African American young man, very polite, very nice. And he was selling candy. And in my area, I find that that's not all that uncommon for the athletic teams in particular to be raising money for their games and sports and travel and that kind of thing. So he says to me on my way out, you may not be interested in the candy, but would you like to make a donation to whatever, like his sports thing was? And I just kind of brushed by him. And I was like, no, that's okay. Thank you. And before I could get to my car, something just said, Deborah, what did you just do? How dismissive were you of him? And I thought to myself, particularly as a young Black man, how much he probably gets that all of the time. And in my heart, I believed him. I didn't think it was a hustle. I really did believe that he was doing something for his sports team. So I turned around and I went back. And there was just something in me. I can't explain it, where I was grateful for him. I was grateful for his existence. I was grateful for him being a young generation trying to do something as I was talking to him. So I said, are you a baller? And he kind of smiled. He said, yeah. I said, you play basketball? He's like, nodded, yes, ma'am. I said, what position you play? He said, point guard. Sometimes forward, he said, but mainly a point guard. And I said, oh, okay. All right. And I said, are you good? And he smiled. He said, yeah. I said, you want to get a scholarship? Like do this? He's like, yeah, I'm going to college. I really want to go to college. And I said, you plan on doing it on a sports scholarship? He's like, yeah. And then he said, and I play football. I said, you do? He said, yeah, football is really my sport. I said, yeah. I said, what do you do? He said, I'm running back. I said, oh, you fast, huh? You got some speed? I was just shucking and jiving with him. And he's like, yeah, I got some speed. So we were talking back and forth. And I just said to him, you know what? Do well. Do well. And I don't carry a lot of cash on me anymore. Like a lot of people since COVID. And I dug in my purse and I happened to have a $5 bill. And I gave him $5. And so one of his partners was coming over who was also selling around and stuff. And I gave him the $5 bill, and he said, "You want like some candy?" I said, "No, I don't need the candy." And I looked at him and I said, "You know what? Keep it." I said, "Keep it for you. Okay. And just follow your dreams. Just do it. Follow your dreams." And as I was leaving him, I had this flashback of a story I know I've told before, but it really hit me so hard, and I will connect it to. This was a long time ago, and I remember exactly when it was, because I was a returning student to UCLA. I'm a returning student to my education and just starting in UCLA's graduate business program to get my MBA. And it was the first quarter. And I didn't know the system, how early you had to apply for parking permit. So I didn't have a parking permit. And parking's brutal around UCLA, because it is the graduate school of business was literally right across the street from one of the entrances of Bel Air. Okay. So it's in this really ritzy neighborhood part of Los Angeles, and there's not a lot of off-street parking that is allowed. So at that particular time, I'm working full-time, I'm going to school full-time, and I don't have a lot of money. And I'm also raising the kid with a former partner. And I had $5. It's that $5 again. That's all I had. They didn't have automated kiosks then to get in and out. So you had to go through somebody to, makes me cry just thinking about it still. You had to go through somebody in order to get your ticket to get in. So there was this guy there. There was this one time, I never saw him before. I never saw him since. And he was such an unusual guy to be there at the university. Older Black man, and slow, like Southern kind of old slow. And I was kind of running late, and I had made a decision that with that $5, I was going to buy a parking ticket so I wouldn't have to trek from some long distance. It meant I wouldn't eat, but I figured, I'm not going to die if I don't have lunch. But I couldn't afford to be late. So I was making a choice between parking and eating at that particular moment. Not an uncommon dilemma when you don't have a lot of money. So this guy is just taking so much time. And I couldn't get, like, why are you so slow? What is it? So he says, "You go to school here?" I said, "Yes, sir, I do. As a matter of fact, I'm having a final. Like, can we hurry it up a little bit?" I'm thinking in my mind. And he just kind of keeps walking around, and finally he just looks at me and he says, all right. And he says, gives me the ticket. And I said, here's the $5 or whatnot. And he pushed it away. And he back in, like, no, don't give me that. And he looked me dead in the eye and he said, "You do good in there, okay?" He said, "I believe in you." This total stranger. And then he said, "Get yourself some lunch." And it was like at that moment, I felt like this was an angel. I didn't have the language for all that. I know, but just something said, like, is he even real? Never saw him again. Like, did he? But it was this encounter. It was this encounter. And it was just $5. That's all that it was. It was just $5. But you know what? That $5, you can tell I still get choked about it. What it meant to me at that time. And I knew that it was God's grace. Everything in me knew that somehow or another I was being provided for, that I could get a parking pass and I could eat and I got affirmed. And it meant so much to me because I knew that a guy like him would have never been in a graduate business program. Wasn't happening. And what his life must have been like. And for him to say that, I believe in you. And in his broken English, he said, you do good. You do good in there, okay? So by the time I got to my car, I had a flash of that man and that $5 that he gave me back in 1980. Way before this young man was born, probably before his mama was born. And something in me just felt like I was in the flow of that grace. And I had such gratitude. Here's the thing. I want you to hear what I'm saying. I had gratitude giving him the $5. I had gratitude giving him the $5. Because that gratitude is what allows me to stay in touch with the grace, the givingness, the provision. They go hand in hand. I often speak of recovery programs because I feel like it's such a perfect model and explanation for all of this. That one of the things that you learn in a 12-step program is you learn gratitude. When we're binging and an active addiction and all of the rest of that, we're not in gratitude. Okay? We're in fear, we're in lack, we're in desperation, we're in judgment, we're in a whole bunch of stuff, but it's not gratitude. And part of what that experience is of getting into recovery is learning how to be grateful. Even just grateful that you're still alive and hadn't offed yourself intentionally or unintentionally through a lot of bad behavior and poor choices. A gratitude for the people who are around you now and supporting you and seeing something in you. And through the lens of that gratitude, you begin to see the grace. Listen to what I'm saying. You begin to see the grace. You begin to see the grace, not only the grace that's with you now, and the grace that's coming your way, you begin to see all the grace you took for granted. You begin to see all of the ways that you were provided for and held against all odds that had been going on all along, but stuck in your pity party, you just couldn't see it. You cannot see the grace. You cannot experience the grace without being in a sense of gratitude. It's just impossible. It's impossible. And if you didn't have it before, the very experience of being in the presence of grace unfolding will humble you enough to get in gratitude. Grace is sometimes referred to as unmerited favor. We make the mistake of thinking that it means undeserving. And that's quite a common concept in particularly traditional Christianity, that we're undeserving of this care and this provision. It comes from the Greek charis, actually from which we get the word charity as well. Charis also means love. Grace and love comes from the same word. But it's not unmerited because you didn't deserve it. It's unmerited, it's because it's beyond merit. It cannot be earned. And it can't be unearned. It just is. There are a couple of spirit letters about grace in my book, The Sacred Yes. One of them is called Grace. The other is Amazing Grace. And I love that this line in Amazing Grace where it talks about the song Amazing Grace and how essentially if there was such a thing as an American Christian hymn, it would probably be Amazing Grace. It's probably the most well-known hymn. And it said, the only thing amazing about my grace is that you keep thinking that it's amazing. That's what's so amazing about it. That song, Amazing Grace, was written by Newton, who was a slave trader. He wrote the lyrics. And the melody is actually an African mourning song, M-O-U-R-N, like in pain, a mourning song. That I'm no doubt he heard on those slave ships for a long time. And he had this about-face turnaround. There are a couple of things that he mentions from scripture in there. I was lost, but now I'm found, which is in reference to the story of the prodigal son who squanders all of his inheritance, doesn't think he's worthy anymore to be his father's son, and he comes home and he's received. He's received, even though he keeps saying, no, I'm not worthy to be your son. His father's like, no, I'm not having that. He says, my son was lost and now he's found. And it also references, I was blind, but now I see. After Jesus's crucifixion, there is a Pharisee, a Jewish religious elder who is part of the aristocracy, so to speak. And he's on his way to Damascus, to Greece, to persecute the new up-and-coming Christian. After Jesus died, so many of them fled to Greece. He never met Jesus, but he had this encounter with Jesus on the road to Damascus, where Jesus appears to him as this spirit, basically, an apparition, like a spirit. And Jesus says to him, "Why are you persecuting me?" And the light was so bright that he was blinded for some time. And he had this about-face turnaround and actually became one of the founding fathers of Christianity as a religion later after Jesus' death. I was blind, but now I see. I was lost, but now I'm found. I'm blind, but now I see. Okay. He went into a different place of gratitude. You know, or how could you save a wretch like me? I was lost, but now I'm found. I was blind, but now I see. It's this energy that I'm talking about. And he understood it. He understood that ability to be forgiven, that ability to have a fresh new start, that ability to come to grips with what he's done, to move beyond all of the guilt and the shame and the blame of it into a place of loving life and joy and wanting other people to experience and know the joy and whatnot that he knows. That's just pure grace. That's pure grace. You can't earn it because it's already given. Those are the twins. Grace and gratitude. Don't leave home without them. Let's pray. Grace and gratitude. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto us. You've brought us from such a mighty long way. Thy grace is truly sufficient. Not by our own might or will. Thy will be done. We surrender all. In this moment right now, I know that something great, grand, and glorious is unfolding. It always is at every moment of every time, because that's just how God is, always showing off. How you like me now? God's always saying, can you hear me now? Huh? Do you see me now? And our answer is yes. We don't need to be hit by a 2x4, because a whisper is truly enough. So we say thank you in this moment. We have that gratitude for matters big and small. We wake up with an attitude of gratitude before anything's even happened, because it's not a response to something. It's a compass, it's an awareness of that we are living and moving and having our being, swimming in God's intelligence and provision, swimming in its connectedness to everything, most especially us. Nothing is outside of the infinite. And it is with this humility that we speak this word. For all needs met, health in the body temple, financial security and sustenance, enough food and clothing, shelter, freedom from harm and danger, beyond threats of war or famine or abuse. Now, we are a loving, compassionate world, giving and caring and sharing, with the absolute privilege of being places and spaces through which God's grace flows. Use us. Use us, Mother, Father, God, to show the world just how good you are. May we be beacons in the night. Draw one to you. Oh, it is so good. And it is so done. We just get out the way and allow you to be God. Nobody does it better. There are a few people trying real hard. But you will not be mocked. It's good. And we let it be. There's a prayer request on your heart. It could be for yourself, a loved one. Give me something in the news. Give us a call. You can reach us by phone at 831-465-9090 at extension 254. You can also reach us by email, the number 4, the word prayer, at innerlightministries.com. And one of our prayer practitioners will get back to you with something that will be a blessing. Truly a blessing. Not canned, but specifically for you. Just breathe that in. All confidential. Yes. I would like to invite you to an upcoming event that we have. If you're looking at this in real time, it's a week from today on August the 2nd, 2026, during our regular community gathering that we have on the first Sunday of every month at the Resource Center for Nonviolence in Santa Cruz, California at 3 p.m. It's when we normally meet there. We're going to be doing something extra special. It is a ceremony that we're going to be having, double ceremony, an ordination ceremony and a recommitment ceremony. It's called Higher Ground, Call to Recommit. Something is calling us up all to go a little bit higher. We are pleased to support Reverend Julie Croquetas Wooden. She is a new minister licensed with One Spirit. She's been with us for a decade. She and her husband, both practitioners, raised her son with us. He's our sound engineer, actually, on those Sunday afternoons. And please come. Please come. Support Julie, support this wonderful opportunity where people are going to be rededicating themselves. So she'll do her ordination vows as a new Inner Light minister. It's 25 years now since I did my ordination. So there will be a recommitment where I will redo my ordination vows. And then we're asking anybody who's gone through our program, and that's literally hundreds of people, anybody that's become a practitioner of higher consciousness, to, if you're in the area, come on by, renew your vows, take your oath again. The oath is not to an institution. it's to your lifestyle and who it is that you are. And Jamie Lula, the great Jamie Lula, is going to be doing the music that particular Sunday. So please come on by. We would love to have you there. Spread the word. It also broadcasts live. So if you're not able to participate in person, please do online. And that includes if you're a grad. Wear white, have something on your altar, represent your spiritual practice, and you can say the renewal vows along with us as part of the extended cyber community. Yes. Let's take a breath, Let's take a breath. And we say thank you. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for joining us. And thank you for your contributions, keeping us afloat, keeping us alive, making sure that we're able to do the things that we need to do in our ministries. It's our time of offering now, of conscious giving. And as you see on your screen, there are multiple ways to make a contribution. And every contribution is going towards healing. It's going towards growth. It's going towards transformation. That's what we do. That's what we do. You can use the QR code. You can do a text to give. Almost any of these options allow you the opportunity to make a recurring contribution. And I want to encourage you to do that. Then you don't have to worry about it. You have to worry about it. It's already done. And the consistency empowers us to be able to make the plans that we need to make and to do the things that we are called to do. So I invite you to say this prayer with me. My every act produces abundance. I dare to give freely unto the truth that sets us free. I release this gift, knowing it returns to me a thousandfold. Thousandfold. And remember, it's not a one-way street. Your generosity returns to you. It returns to you. So that's our time together for today. I encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, to like us and follow us on social media. Check out the affirmations again. And as always, take this consciousness and multiply it. See you next time.